Oh, hey there, family. We are back ready to go into our story. We find ourselves in Avery County in Carolina. Death has found its way here, but not as one usually talks it. No, the first death has really come when the local prison has decided to rent out their prisoners at a fraction of the cost of the local workers. Therefore, Avery, the whole county seems to be dying. As people are leaving, one mayor tries to do what they can, while others plot and try to besmirch her good name, or at least the name she has. And that is why she has reached out to Basil, Prudence, Ruby, Charlie, and Ivy to see if they can do something about what is happening. They've gotten a few tales, a few legends, and now find themselves realizing they might be facing something old, dark, that started or at least was awoken with a seed of hatred so deep. One wonders if it could actually be pulled out. Because this land likes to keep. It likes to keep people. And it likes roots. It'll keep love. But it'll keep the hate that gets sowed. Especially when it's sowed so deep. So, Avery County, 1920. After getting the rumors and the information, Basil, Prudence, Ruby, Charlie, and Ivy have made their way back to the homestead. The little place that they have tried to eke out. As each of you arrive here to get what you need, you know what it means to complete this. You know that you will get a deed. Right and clear. You know that there's people who don't want you to have it. What are some things that each of you see that you've done to make this place yours?
I will start. Ivy's grown up here with Toby, so she's kind of let everybody else take over resiliently her parents' bedroom because she didn't want to move in there with Toby, so they still share a room. But mainly, it's very plain and simple. There's a little bookshelf where she tries to teach Toby some reading when she gets a chance, and a little. You'll see her main thing is in the room is a picture that she got right when Toby was born. It was the only time the parents had enough money to be able to go to the shop and get actual photography. And so we have our one family portrait. And that hangs right above her bed.
Well, Prudence has started to make a fence around the property. It's not totally complete, but just something nice, and gotten some nice white paint, something to really uh, freshen the place up a bit. She also has started a chicken coop, which of course has no chickens in it still, but something nice, trying to plan for the future. It's a little raggedy, but it's kind of, got sort of that kitschy charm to it.
So Charlie is not really used to having a stable place. He hasn't had a stable place in a long time, acting as a traveling and iterant musician. So he's actually tried to not intrude too much. He has set up a chair for himself outside, one that faces towards the mountains, and the others can often find him sort of sitting in it, picking away at his guitar and staring off at the mountains. The other things that he does offer to his new inherited family is he'll always play a song if they want to hear it. And he has the one other item of value he owns is a bicycle that he allows any of the others to use as they need to get around, if they need to get around without walking.
I think Basil just has putting books everywhere. Like, if the table's unsteady, there's a book underneath. If there's like any space on a counter, there's a book there now.
All right. Then Ruby?
Sorry, I'm still I don't know. She Oh goodness.
Didn't you say she is sort of, maybe she's a little fancy for this place? Do you think there's anything she might have done to help it feel like more like her environment or home?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Okay, she I don't know. She's attempted to make a small, like a little area next to the house that's like pretty, like a flower bed or something like that. That's what she's attempting. It doesn't mean she has a green thumb, so it might not look that great, but she's attempting it.
Perfect. So, as you are kind of take care of what you need to, as it is getting in close to midday. A few things do need to be done, even if you're trying to make this yours. As the afternoon gets a bit later, what is it that you all are grabbing and preparing? Guess I would say play is yours, RP, and tell me where you want to go.
I think obviously, like, once we get inside everything, a couple hours, she's gonna come out and find everybody and be like, "Can anybody use this?" And she's holding up a shotgun, and she goes, "It's Pa's shotgun. He didn't bring it to the mine when he was working that day. I mean, I could try, but I'm not that good with it."
Charlie sort of takes one look and says, "I don't. Unfortunately, I never. It's never very good with firearms. I got my." He shows he's got a little pocket knife. He's like, This is about all I ever had to defend myself on the road, I'm afraid.
Well, it ain't no time like the present to start, practicing, I suppose. I mean, not that, God willing, we won't have to do any practice down there, but, I think it's better maybe if you have something just to hold on to if it makes you feel any better.
Okay.
Personally, I got all I need here. Take my old and she sort of she's her stuff sits on the porch. She doesn't go out chopping logs very often. She's like, I'll take this with me on my old axe. Again, not that I think, of course, we'll really have to use it. But I was never, between you and me, I don't really trust myself with firearms.
What about you, Basil and Robbie? Do you guys have everything you need?
think I got everything I need. I was gonna ask, since I didn't go to the speakeasy technically, not a speakeasy, could I have used that time to try to figure out if there's any maps for the mines?
Very interesting. Where do you think you might have gone?
Well, I am a librarian.
This is true. Yeah. So give me a research task. This would be intellect, and you have a
I'm
relevant
trained
skill.
in geography.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's sorry, what am I rolling?
Yeah, so you're trained. So that's going to go ahead and be, right now would be a rating, again, playing with hands up a little bit, rating 2. So that would be a D20 6 or higher, unless you want to put some effort into it to make it 3 or higher.
D20 6 or higher. Let me just actually find some dice. D20 6 or higher. Why do I keep pulling all the D6s? D20 6 or higher. That would be an 11.
Okay. Pushing through old records and the mines. You get a map of the area, and about 20 years back, someone did go ahead and get an up-to-date plan of it that is on file. Wrote kind of a little interest piece, and it was popular in its time, and therefore it is here.
Okay.
But given the nature of iron mining, it's not necessarily something you keep up to date, because it's a surface down as opposed to coal, where one would dig. But you get a general idea, and of course you have the map, which you can write down as one of the equipment.
Okay. I think that I'm all prepared.
So Charlie is still not. Actually, Charlie will ask Ivy. Ivy, will you be? I really not very comfortable with firearms myself. Would you? But would you like us to bring this just in case, or?
I mean, I'll carry it. Pa taught me how to shoot it a couple of times when I was younger.
And I think you probably have more experience than I do. I need to sort of keep my hands a little free, and you see that he actually makes a point of placing his harmonica in his pocket as well, actually treating it much more carefully and tentatively than the knife he carries. He'll also quickly check his traveler's pack. I do have a flashlight, and he's going to check and make sure his flashlight has got the batteries it needs. check and make sure it's working.
Miss Ruby, do you got everything?
Yeah, she comes out. She's actually changed into she's changed into her air quotes work clothes, and she comes out carrying two things, and she'll hold the first one up. I got this, which is a lantern. We could use this if if your flashlight doesn't like to work or doesn't want to work or stops working or whatnot. But I also have this, and she holds up a camera.
Ooh.
Think we may need that?
Maybe I've never seen like a camera actually in person before. That's wow. How'd you get a hold of that? You really are one of them city girls, huh? That's amazing.
Yeah, I was in the city for a while.
You should take a picture before we head out there.
You know, I think that's a wonderful idea.
Oh, all right. She'll just. What should I take a picture of?
Us, in front of the house. Can you, set it on a timer?
She probably knows what this thing does.
Sure.
She owns it. I don't know. Does this thing have a timer?
Sorry, what's the object again?
It's a
Camera.
camera.
Okay. I'll say yeah. I think there's a time that you can do on it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. She'll. Can somebody bring that stump over here so I can that log over here so I can set it up and have a place to put it?
Oh yeah, no problem. She'll tromp over there. And by the way, Prudence is kind of huge. She's kind of a very tall, big woman. Just drags the thing over there almost effortlessly.
Well, yeah.
Charlie attempts to fix his hair. He hasn't had a photo in a while, realizes it's a fool's errand, and just sticks his fedora back on to cover the mess.
Oh, I'm in my work clothes. Let me go change real quick. So she goes and changes. And comes back out, sets up the camera.
Okay.
Make sure her everything's in place. All right. Charlie, get a little closer. You're out of frame.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Miss Rubin.
Basil's gonna come out all confused, holding a camera stand, and then go and just slide it back in the house.
Oh, that works too. Okay. Basil, get up there. Actually, Prudence, you need to be in the back. You're blocking Ivy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like this.
Yeah. All right. And she'll set the timer, and then for 15 seconds, run over, stand in her place, pose. And 10 seconds later, I guess you hear a click.
Yeah.
I do something very clumsy just as it goes off. I sneeze just as it goes off. Of course.
All right, there's our pictures.
Thank you, Miss Ruby.
Of course. Should we take this, or do I need to leave it here?
We are looking for. The mayor wants evidence. I'm
Uh-huh.
not sure to clear a name. I'm not sure what evidence she expects us to find, but I believe photographs could be useful for that. If you, so we might have use for it.
Okay.
That's true.
Abby's all grabbing her stuff and goes, "Oh, wait! I have to grab my mom's medical bag." And she runs up, goes slide under her bed, pulls
Well,
out
while she's
Mom's-
doing that, Ruby is going back to change.
her mom's medical bag, and then grabs it, loads it up, and then reaches under her pillow and grabs her little 4-leaf clover, holds it. All right, we got this today. She puts it in her pocket.
Charlie, at some point, goes and finds the loose floorboards that he uses to stick his guitar into. As he assumes we're going down into a mine, he's gonna rely on his harmonica.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Prudence is gonna take her hatchet and her axe and just kind of like tie the hatchet with some rope that she has, like this amount of rope, and then a peculiar looking bag she's gonna take with her. It's a little bit fancy for her taste maybe, but nice and silken. And yeah, I'm ready to go.
Very good. Then you begin heading north of town. What time are you aiming to go? In the daytime, it's being mined, mostly by convicts, people who've done all sorts of awful things. So it might be a little bit hard if you really wanted to be able to go about unhindered. It would at least have to be at least just before sunset, or earliest just before sunset, depending on how keen you are to get up there.
Yeah, I think we could go up there. We could. Is there forest around the mine that we could maybe look around, see if we can find anything?
Yeah. There's wood everywhere. There's also the spring just north of town as well. It's a destination people go up to mostly to refill their waters and come back. As far as if you wanted to be somewhere that was neutral, it's up to you how you want to do this.
So the information we have, the disappearances have all been in the mine itself, correct? Is that...
Yeah, from what you can tell, what you've heard of is that people have gone missing in the mine. Usually people falling in somehow in the violence. The latest thing was a convict being pulled down. Not being pulled down, but falling in there, trying to say that had something to do with the May. It hadn't happened in a lot of years, and so it just so happened to be right after a lot of the employees of Barrow and Locke were let go in favor for these prisoners.
So it sounds like we are going to have to get into that mine.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to wait until after they stop mining for the day.
Yeah, because switch around woods or whatever you want to do. You just tell me what you're doing. I'd say again, especially with cipher games and this is very much how you want to go about doing this. So it's less like trying to find where the GM placed something. It's more
When-
like you're moving ahead.
When I was looking at the maps, are there any other entrances to the mine besides the main entrance?
It's not secured by a fence, really, so you can come by a lot of different directions. And again, picture like the mine as something that is dug from the top down,
Okay.
as opposed like into from the side.
Oh.
Okay. Right.
Because that's how iron works versus coal.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
really that
cool.
scarier to me?
It's like a big hole in the ground instead of
Yeah.
like a crater in the ground instead of holes.
Mhm.
Well, maybe we should head to the stream and fill our water bottles and everything, and then wait out until those miners leave.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, maybe we're going to the creek. Maybe I'll like wash my face a little, get ready for the night. Maybe say a little prayer, see if I get anything from that. Try to communicate with the Lord. With my special sensibilities. I guess I'm using the wrong word there, but see if I just have any connection or any weird feelings or hear anything abnormal.
Miss Prudence, are you talking about talking to Jesus again?
Yeah, you know what? That wasn't her talking. That wasn't me talking to the GM. I was just mumbling. She's just like mumbling to herself as she's coming in. She's like, maybe I ought to just wash my hair and try. Oh yeah, something like that. Never can be too safe. Never can be too safe.
Charlie sits a little bit away and spends the time with his eyes closed, listening to the mountain around him.
Got it. Go ahead, Charlie. I want to give you a perception task or challenge
Okay.
here.
Okay.
So that's intelligence. If you have perception, it would lower it, but we start at
Yep.
3 again.
Yep, I am trained in perception.
Okay. So we'll do right now.
Okay, so that is... So I need a 6 or better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a 10.
Okay. Very good. Hmm. As you listen to the mountain here, you begin hearing footsteps, but they are odd. Timed and heavy. More, especially to your ear, like the cracking of twigs under a boot, but in a rhythm precise, like a metronome to a pianist student. Clocking, keeping time, and then stopping, a rustling, and then that same measured, perfect walking.
Does it sound like they're getting closer?
Given your time, it does as though they are staying at almost at the same distance and then getting closer. So somewhat slowly, but continually.
I'm not. Charlie doesn't even realize he's doing this. If anyone happens to notice Charlie, his upper body is swaying very slightly in rhythm with what he's hearing. And he's focusing on it. And in the event that it starts sounding, close, like it's getting close, I'm trying to think of how close it'll have to get before him to snap out of it.
You tell me.
Yeah. I think he sways initially. When it becomes obvious that it's getting closer, he snaps out of it a bit and looks around to see if he can see anything.
Okay. You see there in the brush and the wood a man walking. A last slight slope to his back, evenly and measured. You just see the profile from where you can, but even from here, something is just off. They look down as if searching for something. But their head does not move left or right, just straight on in measured steps. The arms don't move. There's no smile or change in what you can see of a neutral expression.
What are they wearing?
You can see a tweed vest and a worker's pants and miner's boots. Underneath the vest is a very dirty, filthy white shirt. And in fact, looking at all the clothes of this thing, they're dirty, filthy, like they haven't been washed in years. And that even seems to extend to their hands that have a dark red earth stained into them.
Charlie is going to not take his eyes off of this figure. Back up to get whoever, I'm not sure who at this point who'd be closest to him, but he's going to try to get back and get everyone else's attention in order to point out this figure to them. I don't know who's the first person he would come across.
I think you can pick.
Okay. You know what? He's going to sort of back up and find Basil. Basil, don't make any quick movements, but we're not alone out here. It's in a point in the direction. Say, do you see that? Right? There's the figure, a man, I think, and he don't look quite right.
Okay. Does he look like something I've seen before in the woods or in the forests?
I mean, you've seen people, but it doesn't look like any person you've ever seen.
I should have asked this, and this is there anything, I know it's just a beat, is there anything familiar to Charlie about the beat that he's walking at?
Not so much familiar, but you would certainly know some songs that would go to it.
Okay. I don't know. There's something wrong with him. He's the walk. His walk. It's not natural. It's like he's beating out a 2/4 rhythm. I don't know why someone would walk through the forest to the rhythm of a song.
You said he's just looking like he's looking for something?
I mean, his head is curved towards the ground.
Is there anything obvious about the ground that's not right?
Yeah, perception challenge, intellect.
Okay. So it's just a D20?
Yeah, do you have perception? Or anything like that that would help you with this?
I have plant and creature identification, navigation, geography, learning something new. All those are trained. And I have living off the land, which means I can always find like edible stuff. So I don't know if any of that
yeah,
helps.
so this would be standard 3 then. It'd be 9. Though as you go and look, something, it's strange. It's as if a little bit of extra light and outlines become shinier. Something seems to be helping. Like your vision in the dark and the dim light suddenly gets sharper.
Yes, it did, because that would be a nat 20 if we were playing D&D.
Did you get an natural 20?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So that means something very special happens.
Look, I like the greens. The greens like me.
So the first thing I'll say, looking very closely, you notice that there is a bag around, a bag attached to this, not a man's belt. It clicks like stone against stone. You look about 20 yards ahead of him, and he's not seen it yet. You think you see a stone. It is small, but it seems to set out from the underbrush, almost especially for you. It's circular, and there's a hole that's in the center of it.
Do I think I can get to it without him noticing me?
I think with the natural 20, you get a major boon. So what I'd say is if you want to act right now on this, instantly you can have the task eased by 1.
Does that just apply to me, or can I send someone else to it?
I think you can pass that on if you want, but it has to be right. It has to be very quickly here.
Because I'm pretty average on speed, and I think this is going to take speed, right?
It would be a speed challenge, yes.
So, of the group, who do I know that could do that?
Actually, this would be speed or might. It's up to you. I mean, however, I think you know Caesar's protector, right?
What?
I was muted. Prudence, yeah, she's a.
Sorry, Prudence. I apologize.
No, that's all right.
So Prudence usually has more physical, does more of the physical things around.
Then I'm going to, like, trot as fast as
Ruby.
possible quietly to Prudence and be like, you need to go grab that rock before he sees you do it.
Great. Okay. And I see this weird not man, and and I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. If you think I gotta do, and she just goes. She just goes. Like I guess, and she doesn't know what's going on. Does that guy give me the heebie-jeebies at all? Do you think? Probably, right?
Yeah. And I'll get to that in a moment. I think so. Go ahead and yeah.
Sorry, real quick. While this exchange happens, Charlie is going to stay far enough back to not get into Prudence's way, but he is keeping an eye on the situation, following far enough behind to not interfere, but he is fingering his harmonica in his pocket, waiting for if that figure does anything or makes any kind of movement towards Prudence.
Okay. So this is a quick challenge. Ruby, did you have anything you wanted to add to this? I know this kind of happened quick. I think I heard Courtney you talk for a second.
Oh, I was just gonna say that she has she's trained in all tasks involving balance and careful movement, and all tasks involving physical performing arts. So
Okay.
yeah, that's all she's got.
I gotcha. So let's keep that in mind for the next challenge like this, I think.
Absolutely.
But there's just everyone getting to know each other really quick as far as this the play. Like, oh, that's right. This is still very new as far as everyone knowing each other's stuff. All right. So Prudence. Again, showing the hand. So we're doing challenge 3. You are you have the asset passed on to you by Basil, so that would be down to challenge 2. I could do might or speed for this.
If possible, I would much prefer to do might.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Because I think it could be body control or quickness. It works. So do you want to spend effort, or do you want to go with the 6 or higher?
I think that I will. How much does an effort cost?
You probably have your edge in might. So
I do actually.
So it would be 2 instead of 3. 2 might instead of 3.
Yeah, I'll spend it.
Okay. So then roll the dice on a 3 or higher.
20. Literally.
We want this stone.
The game wants us to have the rock real bad.
Yeah, I love it. You move very quickly. Now I want to ask you, Prudence. What? You get a major boon here. Something good happens for Prudence. What does Prudence want to happen here? What do you want to happen for Prudence? Either one.
Would it... I don't know what would apply here. I guess, like, while I'm getting this thing, I want to get maybe a good look at this not man and see if there's anything that I notice about him in particular, or like anything that I've heard, any tales or anything like that, just anything on this dude. like, and just, yeah, I just really want to know what the dude's deal is, if that's possible. If not, is it possible
Yeah.
to hold this?
We usually don't do a hold. This is usually not what we go for, unless there's really something on that. But I think that we got it. You move very quickly, and moving through, you are able to carefully grab the stone, and you take a glance at this man. You can tell that this pack they wear, you see round indentations at the bottom, giving you the idea that they have more of these stones within. And you can take a look at their eyes. Their eyes that do not move, but stay steady. A face expressionless. Jaw slack. Relaxed in an odd way. Stepping through vines and underbrush. You see the thorns tear at their cufflinks at the bottom of their pants, even biting into the skin. But there's no red. There is no register of pain. They just move. Blank-eyed. Angle of their gaze perfect. Searching.
Can I ask, when I looked for the maps, was there a picture of the brothers?
I think you... So your character didn't have this information to know
Okay,
about
never
the
mind then.
brothers when you were there, unfortunately, to have looked for that technically.
Never mind. I know nothing.
So Prudence.
You know, this is really wigging me out. I don't know what the deal is completely with this guy exactly, but I know, well, she doesn't, and she knows that, but she does know that this is not natural, and that she doesn't want anything to do with this, and she doesn't want anyone that's within this found family she has to like get involved in in anything that doesn't, you know. Basically, I want to stay away from this dude, and I'm just gonna try to, as carefully as I can, also just sort of go back. And my shoulders are really up and tense, and I'm looking more serious than I usually do. And at this point, I've taken the pebble and I've put it in my pocket. I just kind of walk back, and I give a look to Charlie as I'm walking back, like this is messed up. Like there's something really messed up, and I walk back to Basil, and I'm like, what's with this rock thing? What's going on here? Because that guy ain't normal.
Real quick before Basil answers, when you say that to Charlie, you get a very slight acknowledgement, but Charlie is watching this figure. And in this moment where other people have been doing things, it's up to you if you notice that Charlie's upper body is starting to sway again in time as he's actually back. He's focusing on the rhythm of the footsteps.
And in which direction is he going, the not man?
This blank-eyed man keeps moving. he goes probably another 200 feet as you all watch before he reaches just about the end of the wood where it would be go on to more underbrush. And he stops, takes a half step, pivots and turns, and begins walking back. Same angle, looking down.
I want to pull this rock out and kind of show it to Ivy and Basil.
Basil's gonna be like, I have no idea what it is. I just know it didn't belong there. I have an inability with
here, and she kind of is looking at her hand. I don't. What is this? What does this rock look like?
It is a circular stone with a hole in the middle. And oh, go ahead.
Oh, nothing.
Okay. Looking around, looking at it closely. This, you've heard tale of this. You might have seen one or two. Sometimes it's handed out when children get scared at night. And mostly outgrown, as they like to eventually believe that the darkness and the creeks are just a house cooling off or warming up at night. Not what, well, the foolish superstitious folk say that's there. It is known as a hag stone. This one is of green. It is said that a green hagstone, when worn on the finger like a ring, keeps ghosts and spirits away.
I sort of relay this, like, oh yeah, my I sort of relay this information, like, oh yeah, it's my mama used to say this was a hagstone, and with some sort of my cousin used to have one of these. He looks like I think he made it himself, so I don't know if it's a real hat. Blah 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 blah, and I kind of look at it and I think about that dude. And even with this, I just feel like this isn't something I particularly want anything to do with. So I'm just kind of looking at it, and I look maybe a little uncomfortable at it. Well, obviously, that person wanted this, so I don't know how much I want this.
Should we put it back?
I'm gonna look at I'm gonna look at Courtney, and I'm gonna look at Charlie, who, and again also I'm wondering what Charlie's doing at this point, and where that guy is.
Charlie is, if the guy is still there and the sound is still there, Charlie. So someone's going to have to go and tap Charlie on the shoulder or physically interact with him, because he's slightly swaying and he's watching this figure and he's listening to this beat.
I think they're also put out. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, is the dude is that guy still around?
Mm-hmm. Well, He's coming back towards you, like sort of parallel to you, because you saw him go there, turn around. Now he's slowly walking back. He'll be even with you and then pass, you believe. And then for Ruby, or no, we kind of mentioned that real quick.
Because off the record, literally, I have no understanding or use of magic.
So what I'll say is this is a cipher. So everyone would be able to use this.
No, I'm saying as to what my character's like, I don't know what to do with it.
Right.
So people who are a little more magically inclined might want to speak up.
Ivy finally turns around after grabbing water out of the stream and goes, "Oh, yeah, I got one of those. I got it from my grandma. You just put it around your finger and it helps normally protect you from things."
It works?
Normally. I mean, you have to believe in it. Do you believe in it?
You know, I think maybe somebody else better hold on to this.
Does anybody know why Charlie's just waving back and forth?
I think he might be hearing something because I was seeing something.
Y'all think we should move along, or you know what? This isn't really something I usually do. Not that this might be something other people usually. This is giving me the willies. I'm gonna be honest. This guy looking for this thing.
Yeah. With the 220s, what you would know it be a little rare, because I'm just always around, and he seems to have found a lot of them. If he has been picking them up going this way, coming from somewhere towards all of you. It's up to you.
Hey, Charlie, what are you doing? Ivy taps you.
Charlie's head shakes all of a sudden, and he sort of looks down. Sorry, Miss Ivy. Yeah, no. Sorry. He sort of looks off at the guy again and says, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention, got a little lost in thought there. And he turns and comes back to the group to join the conversation. So what did we what is that you got there, Prudence?
She sort of looks to Ivy.
It's a hagstone. You can wear it for protection from ghosts.
Well, that seems like a useful little doodad.
Are any of you haunted?
Well, I've got some things in my past, Ivy, but I wouldn't call them ghosts.
Miss Prudence, you should give that to Charlie to wear.
All right, Charlie, you want this? She sort of holds it out to him.
Sure. If Miss Ivy knows a lot more about this than I do, so if she thinks that's a good idea, then I will listen to her. And he'll go ahead and take. She'll go ahead and take the hagstone and sort of look at it. I imagine that Charlie's never seen anything like this before.
It's up to you.
Okay.
Play game wise. Again, this is Cipher, so
Right.
you want to look at your max limit. You want to add that. I put the exact text of it in the handouts. I just put it in.
I think I can.
Player resources.
Yeah, I think I can hold. Yes, I can hold one more. So sure. I will go ahead and add that later. But so do we? If we think this is what the metronome, the fella was looking for?
Well, he seems to have a whole bag of them.
Why does he have a whole bag of those?
Well, I don't know if they're of those, but I'm assuming. I mean, logically speaking, if you eliminate the possibility, it's the only logical explanation as to why he's looking.
Works for me. That sounds pretty big brain. Yeah, it works for me.
Maybe he's the one who's really haunted. He certainly doesn't
But if
seem
he's not,
natural.
why isn't he wearing them?
I mean, maybe this is strange of me to say, but he looks you don't look normal. He well, I saw this brambles and things poking into him and real deep in, like not, just sitting on there, and he didn't seem like he was bleeding. He seemed, she shivers a little bit. I don't know, something about that guy. I mean, a lot of things about that guy seem, and she's like kind of lowering her voice because she's noticing she's getting a little bit louder. Unnatural. I think if there's haunting going on, might be something that, is it strange to say he might be the one doing some haunting or something?
But if he's injured, shouldn't we try to help him? I could heal him.
You don't seem normal, like a normal person.
I think it might be best if we leave him be, as long as he's not getting any closer.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Well, should we head into the mines then?
Yeah, that would be. Could clear my head a bit. Yeah.
I think before we go, I'm going to mark on the map where this dude is pacing, though. Just in case.
That's a good idea.
All right. So, having drinking from the spring, and rested, looking at the woods. You leave this man of blank eyes to his walk, is collecting. And you're going towards the mine or going somewhere else?
Is it late enough that we can go to the mine?
Can be. You talked about, just whatever you want to do.
I interrupted someone, but I wasn't looking up to see who just tried to talk.
Oh, it was just me. I was just going to say, if everybody else might as well get this job done. I think one very strange thing today is enough strange things for me. I think we ought to just get in this mine, get what we need to get done, get that deed, and be done with this area. This is something's not right.
Courtney, I want to pass over to you and Ruby here to see anything, because make sure you have input.
Oh, I don't even know if anybody pointed this guy out or said anything to her.
They've been talking. They've been talking about him, so it's assuming.
Oh.
I think everyone's assuming that Ruby was here and in there. So, is there anything that she would go ahead and jump in? A few times I actually said Ruby. You probably missed it.
Oh, I heard Courtney. but
They did, but they meant Ruby.
yeah. So, but it just kept going, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Interrupt us.
I don't know. You guys want me to take a picture of him? I don't know if that would help in any way.
Would it hurt in any way? Nah, so better safe than sorry?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if we got to tell somebody we saw this person here, it might help to have a picture. Yeah.
I'm not posing with this one though. Just to be clear.
All right. That's fine. So my question is, what are you going to be using for light tonight with your photo?
Oh, is it already dark?
It's at least dim in the woods, and it's going to be dark because you were also talking about the mine. So I'm assuming you brought some type of light source.
Well, I've
Because
got a
you
lantern.
Okay.
Charlie has a flashlight.
I've got a flashlight too. But I was asking, do I still see the random weird lights that were out in the woods?
When did I say the lights?
You said that when I was looking at the stone, like it was lighting.
Oh, that, yeah. No, that seems to have gone.
Okay. I was gonna see if I could shine a flashlight off of it and make it work better, but nope, I got a flashlight.
It was more of your vision just becoming crystal clear. Your body was reacting. But, so
Well, it's
Ruby, what do you
fine.
want to do? What do you want to do to take the picture? You
If
take it
there's
inside? Do you want to get in front of him? What do you want to do?
if it's not bright enough, if I don't think it's going to be bright enough,
It's bright enough. You just put some light up to help you. That's all. I was just curious.
You know, if it helps, I don't know how comfortable I feel with some light, you know, from all of it. If it helps, Miss Ruby, I can get closer to him, shine some light onto him, so, you know, maybe it would help get a better picture and also not like show him where everybody is. I could get a light on that.
you know what? I don't want to put anybody in harm's way, so we'll just.
You can take the picture regardless. I wanted in my head what the light sources were to give a visual. I'm not trying to make it difficult.
No, I get that.
I was just trying to get a picture in my brain, what was going on. You could sneak and still do the picture if you don't want to have anybody else in harm's way.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So is my question, what is the key thing you're trying to capture?
I think I would try and get kind of low so I could get like maybe try and get his face.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. I like it. And with this, you can go here so there's more light on the face from just natural light and those types of things. And you hunker down. So obviously you have your camera. Do you have anything else that you think would, like, do you have any skills you think that would aid in this?
I do. I am trained in all tasks involving balance and careful movement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this would be a 3, and then we reduce it 2 steps with your equipment as an asset. And actually, yeah, I would say that. So this is a 3 or higher.
That's a 6. Where are you? 17.
Very good. You wait
That's a
until
good picture.
just the right moments and light and focus, carefully steadying your hand. You set that exposure time. So with the right amount of time, you don't need a lot of light. And you are perfectly still. And you wait until the moment when they have to lean down. Because you see that they found another circular stone, the hole in it. And is that moment that when they come down, that their torso and head remain perfectly still. They're not moving forward or back or up or down, just their arms moving. And it continues a motion to put it in. Once it's put in, very stiffly, everything else moves again. In that moment, you get the perfect shot of this blank-eyed man. It goes off, but there's no reaction. I mean, the camera has noise. It doesn't seem to react in any way. Gets up and comes continuing its path. And from this angle too, you can see there's just a bit of dried blood at the bottom of their shoes.
I think this guy is not alive.
I would say this is an intellect challenge, understanding magic.
Understanding magic.
You have an inability or a trained with it.
Yeah, I don't have an ability to understand magic.
So are you not
Inability.
trained, or do you have an inability?
It's an inability.
Okay, so that's fine. Because you would still make an intellect challenge. It would just is rating 4 as opposed to rating 3 that it would normally be.
I do have an edge on intellect.
So you could spend 2 intellect points if you wanted to put some effort towards this.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So then you need to get a 9 or higher.
19.
Next week, we're all going to roll like crap, aren't we?
Yeah,
I'm honestly surprised that I'm actually rolling like this because, man, Monster of the Week kicked my ass the first couple of sessions.
This blank-eyed man staring at them. There is not decay. But just like the steps are measured, so is the breathing, almost mechanically. That the chest moves. And all of this is some type of impression of life. You don't see thinking, reasoning, just something that does maybe what it's told and nothing more. It's not dead in the sense of a corpse, but it's nothing that you would call life, from the insect to the rabbit, even to the ants. They all have more purpose than this thing.
Cool. All right. She'll make her way back over to the group.
With the 19, one extra thing I'll give you is around their fingers, you see strands of long hair stuck in their nails. And you see that the hands, the fingers almost have muscles. There's a strength to this thing that's not natural. But you make your way back.
All right, we got your photo of it.
Could I tell what color the strands of hair were, or how long they are?
They're quite long. Long hair strands.
Like women's hair?
Yes.
Could I tell if they were dark or light color?
They were red.
They were red.
Why are you always picking on the gingers?
Okay. Well, good news. I did get the picture.
And bad news?
Oh, how do I put this? Have you? That thing, and that's the only way that I can describe it, is not dead, but not alive either. Do we know anybody with long red hair other than you guys?
Well, school teacher has long red hair, and her name is escaping me now. And you know, she has long red hair. Would you? Wait, what? Why do you ask? What's
Well, there was blood on the bottom of his boots, and he had long red hair on his, like, was it wrapped around his fingers like he ripped somebody's hair out?
It was like stuck in his fingernails hanging
It was
out.
stuck in his fingernails hanging out. Okay.
did the blood look old or newer?
Did it look fresh or?
It was dried.
It was dried. No, it was dry.
My mama had red hair, and she came up looking for my pa these ways. You don't think it could be her hair, do you?
I mean, there's a lot of folks with red hair, Ms. Ivy. Let's not jump to too many conclusions along those lines.
That thing.
Actually, not that many people have red hair because it's a recessive gene. So you'd have to have two recessive genes, and then they would have to be a dominant.
Listen, there's two people here who have red hair at least. Everybody, you know what? Out of all the people we know, lots of people for some reason have red hair. Okay.
I.
Well, that thing either killed or seriously hurt somebody.
Well, I mean, okay. I don't suppose he looked like he was the talking type. Hmm?
Charlie starts looking very uncomfortable and sort of goes back and forth and says, "Do y'all want a better look at him? I might be able to get him to stand still. If y'all really want a better look at him."
I don't know how much a look would do at this point. I mean, I got kind of close to him. I saw the unnatural air this thing had around it. I mean, and now Miss Ruby's seen it up nice and close. I mean, I just don't. Something needs to be done about this, right? Like, I just don't really know what to do. We did go? Don't imagine we could speak to him. I guess, but I don't really know what else to do.
Did
And
Ruby
if
share the bit that it looked like it was maybe being controlled?
Oh, I haven't.
Okay.
I what I was gonna say was, well, it. Have you ever seen somebody the lights are on but nobody's home? And they're kind of on autopilot?
It's not terribly uncommon at certain establishments I've played at if it's late enough at night and the libation's been flowing. Talking about that sort of thing?
Kind of, but it's worse, I guess you could say. Like, they're just like, they have, like, this person has their mind set on one task, and that's their whole existence.
Well, ancient Egyptians used to bury their servants with them because they thought in the afterlife they could still serve them, so they only had one purpose. Is it like that?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, the way I see it, it's got some red hair on its hands. Some people gone missing with red hair.
I think it's dangerous.
Yeah, it does seem dangerous. But I don't know. I was kind of on the side of leaving, but at this point, I think, like I said, I think something ought to be done about this, but I don't know what to do. What's the stature of this guy look like? I mean, he's obviously spooky, but is he a big man?
Quite big.
Oh, he's got some muscle. He's strong. For being a not dead guy, he's got power behind him.
Yeah, but there's 5 of us and 1 of him.
Yeah. And I've
Well,
also got Bianca.
Oh yeah, you have Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
It is dark. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe we're seeing stuff weird. It's creepy. We're about to go in this mine. I say, go up and keep maybe a distance and ask this person what's going on. And he's looking for these rocks. We have something he wants. I don't know. This is not right? This is something.
Regardless,
It's not natural.
Think about what we could learn from it.
All I know is it's not natural, and he's dangerous. He's already hurt or killed someone.
Well,
Families come down here.
I think that's all the more reason that someone ought to do something about something. She's gonna do the old dad slap on the knee, like whelp, and she's gonna start walking up, sort of getting just getting ready to do, defend herself if need be. But she's gonna walk up, kind of within 4 feet of this guy.
Okay, Charlie is absolutely right at your side. Charlie has taken out his harmonica.
Oh.
I have something. Hold on. Let me see what I can do. What is it? Yeah. I think. Go ahead.
Hey, sir, or hello. And she's gonna, she's kind of like announcing her presence, sort of waving to this thing.
Okay. All right. Gonna wave. They have their, about 4 feet. When you do this, their head is in gold. To where you think they're looking at about 3 feet ahead of them. You keep. Their walk does not stop. Their head does not raise. Nothing about them changes.
Fascinating.
Y'all need some help. I just and I'm gonna kind of like get in the way almost of like the direction that they're walking. And I've kind of got my hand on my hatchet.
As Prudence is doing that, Ivy just starts going, "Caca! Caca!" And I think I'm going to use my influence the swarm, so if there's any crows nearby, she just wants them to start coming towards the branches. I will spend a pool, but have an edge in it, so technically it's 0. Do I have to roll for that, Matt? It just says action to initiate.
Yeah, you've got it.
Okay.
So they come. Birds begin moving around.
I'm gonna approach
They
him.
do not. Okay,
Oh,
so you
go
approach them. They do not stop as you do. However, their arm comes up and they grab you and try to push you to the side.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just Charlie's edging up. The minute Charlie sees that, the minute Charlie sees it put its hands on Prudence, he brings his harmonica to his mouth and he begins.
Okay, hold that thought.
Okay.
Okay, you're like ready to go. I gotcha. I would like. Is Prudence resisting?
Yeah, she's as he's doing that, she just kind of says, "Whoa there," and she's trying to act like she's being friendly and like everything is normal, but she's really wigged out by this. She kind of like grabs onto his wrist and resists, and she's gripping her hatchet at this point, like ready.
Okay, so might. This is a might task to not be pushed. This is rating 5.
All right.
So do you have anything that goes towards it?
I don't. Unless I want to break things, which I don't. I'm not right now. And so I've got 1 edge. I don't know if that matters.
So you could spend might points. Yeah, go ahead, Ruby.
Can I help, I have encouragement, which means while you maintain this ability through ongoing inspiring oration, your allies within short range ease one of the following task types: defense, attack, or task related to any skill. Would this be like a defense?
Yeah,
Or
something like that. I'll allow it. So you kind of yell out, like, "Don't let him push you around." What do you yell out? Do you?
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, that's no way to treat a lady. Don't let him push you around like that. Men ain't worth it. Blah blah blah." You know.
Okay. So we had 5.
Tag
That'll
on
get
the
it down
end.
to
No offense,
4.
Charlie.
Do you want to spend effort prudence?
You know what? I feel this is probably a silly choice, but I feel, we have some great luck. Funny last words or whatever, I'm just gonna roll the dice.
Okay, 12 or higher.
I want to show you right now because I promise I'm not shitting you. I got an 18.
Okay. Don't worry, it comes around.
Yeah.
Played it a while. Absolutely. An 18 goes to push, and you stand in its way. And it is strong. And you have to pivot and use every ounce of your strength like you're trying to lift a heavy cart. Your muscles strain against this man. So I think I'm going to let Charlie do what thing you wanted to do, if you still want to do it, Charlie.
So I'm staring at this ability, and maybe just to sort of, as we say, sort of open hand here, you can tell me if this is worth going to work at all in this situation in any way. But what Charlie would do is he begins to play a tune on the harmonica, and I'm going to use the Bewitch ability.
Okay. What's it say?
So the Bewitch ability, pop that up, is we talked about this. It's while talking, the skin that is when he plays. You grab and keep another creature's attention, even if the creature can't understand you. For as long as you do nothing but speak, you can't even move, the other creature takes no actions other than to defend itself, even over multiple rounds. It does end if the creature is directly attacked.
Okay. So you put your harmonica to your lips, and I think you can see their hand. They are ready to almost, it's as if one hand was trying to push Prudence.
Mm-hmm.
Now the other hand is going to come around and try to tear Prudence into two. And with that, you put the harmonica to your lips, and it just happens, correct?
It's just it says it is an action.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's a role involved. I will say that Charlie is going to make the rhythm of his song match the rhythm that this guy was walking at. He's got that in his head now. So he's going to use that same rhythm.
Yeah, I think this lovely harmonica music rings out. And for the first time, they stop. Still. Perfectly. The breath stops. There's no movement on this blank-eyed man.
With that, I kind of freeze for a moment, and I imagine I'm just looking this man in the face. And for just a second, my breath stops as well, like in just fear. And then I kind of like very like suddenly then pull away and kind of like take a gasp. And she doesn't really know what's going on with this thing. She doesn't, but her first instinct is that this is unnatural. This seems evil to her. And she is gonna just swing for its neck, I suppose, with the hatchet.
Let's see. So, in this instance, I do want to just do an above table check, just because I think we have Charlie trying to keep things still.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Prudence about to do the attack, which we know is going to undo Charlie's thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, is there anything as a table that we want to do before this or not? Just a time just to check in.
I think this is one of those things we mentioned last time. If there's conversations that have happened in the past, I don't know if at any point we want to say Charlie has shared with the group that he can do this. And if Prudence would know that her attack is going to break what Charlie's done.
You can have that be a thing if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. What do you think, Prudence?
Yeah, if that's something that Charlie would have shared with her, then that makes sense.
He did allude to it even earlier in this conversation by saying he could make the thing stop and stand still.
That's true.
He offered to do that. And that's what the thing just did.
I guess in that case, she'll just kind of back away. I, as a player, am also not too sure what to do at this point.
Okay.
From what you can tell, from what anyone can tell watching, Charlie is focused on this. He's playing this song, and both him and the creature are still. They're both locked in place. So you probably get the sense that as long as Charlie keeps doing this, it's not going to take a swing.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anyone want to jump in? I think we could do this. I just want to make sure everyone has a chance, since this moment was created of perfect stillness, that people have chances. That's all.
Basil is literally just taking notes about everything. I wanted to ask if, now that he's still and we can see him up close, is there any okay, so I totally patterned her after Evie from The Mummy. So, are there anything like hieroglyphics? I can't talk anymore. Is there any, writing on him or on his clothes, on his bag, anything like that?
I would say looking him over, trying to determine if there's some rhyme or reason or something like that. You don't see writing or symbols, at least not on the skin that's showing.
Does he have a satchel where he's putting those Hague stones in?
He does.
I think Ivy wants us to try and caw to her crows and have them try to snatch it off him, if that's possible.
Can't move.
We're robbing a dead dude.
I think for that particular action, because of stuff that, and again, I'm trying to do a lot of above table things till we learn the system. For stuff that I know, I'm gonna say, Charlie, I need this would be, I think, an intelligence challenge to maintain this.
Okay.
Or and it would start at rating 5.
Okay. So I am trained in the use of magic. So with that,
yep.
Okay, so that'd be a 4. And I have edges, so it would take, if I wanted to do effort, it would be
intellect.
It'd be intellect, and it would be 2 points of intellect.
Right.
Okay.
So
and I'll encourage him.
Yeah, you definitely do that again. So sorry, 5, 4. We're down to 4, 3, down to 2. So 6 or higher.
if I use the effort, and this is just again above the board thing. The fact that I'm patterning it after the rhythm he's been walking at. It's an asset? I think those are called.
That's an asset, absolutely. So
Okay.
This would be 3 or higher.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and. Jeez. That's 17.
Okay. Then the birds come and easy enough take it. As they are there, though, Charlie, you feel at first you think it's struggling something fierce, more than anything should. It's unusual. In fact, this is worked on would-be robbers and others easy enough, but this thing. But then you realize it's whatever is pushing against your song, this power that you've paid for. Is not from this thing. It's something that, while pushing from within, does not reside within, but almost like from inside this thing is a door or hole or storm cellar that is being opened just a creak to let something push against what you're doing. But you keep going. And thus, the birds come, hauled by Ivy's connection to the green itself, and lift this bag off of the blank-eyed man. And at that point, we can end for tonight.
Mid-song.
Yeah. So, anyone watching, thank you so much as we're moving through our sessions of Old Gods of Appalachia. I thought we were about to have a combat there for a moment, but we've got Charlie playing a song that's keeping that at bay. We'll see how long that lasts. But other than that, we'll see you all next week. Have a good one.
Good night, family.